Have you ever wondered if your smarter than average intelligence isn't something that can be easily grasped or measured, and each person carries a unique version of it? You might not have the highest degree or be the fastest problem solver in the room, but that doesn't mean you lack intelligence. Intelligence is not just about dry numbers or complex formulas. It reveals itself through small, everyday actions, often in habits. You might not even realize we often associate intelligence with academic ability, high scores, or passing tough exams. However, scientific research has shown that intelligence doesn't only manifest there. The true signs of intelligence can sometimes be hidden in small behaviors and traits that we usually overlook or may even seem odd to some people. But trust me, these habits are not just random. They're evidence that your mind is working on a deeper level. In this video, we'll explore 11 signs, all suggested and supported by scientific studies, to help you realize that intelligence can appear in many forms. But remember, if you don't see yourself in these signs, don't be discouraged. Each of us has our way of showing intelligence, and that's what makes human diversity and richness so incredible. So stay until the end of the video and don't miss any of the signs, because just one of these 11 signs could help you uncover the hidden sharpness within yourself. Sign number 1, protect your thoughts and ideas. Thoughts and ideas. Fears. Life for each person is like a spiritual garden, and thoughts are the precious seeds we see out. Our ideas and thoughts are the delicate flowers that need to be nurtured and protected from harsh winds or invasive weeds. Protecting our thoughts and ideas means safeguarding the core of who we are, shielding ourselves from unnecessary judgment and intrusion. Stoic philosophy reminds us that just as a garden needs to be fenced to avoid outside influences, we too must guard our inner selves and refrain from sharing too much about our weaknesses and private thoughts to protect our values. One of the key principles of Stoic philosophy is controlling what we can and accepting what we cannot. Our thoughts, ideas, and perceptions fall within the realm of what we can control, and thus they must be kept carefully guarded. Not sharing personal information, weaknesses, or secrets serves as a reminder that disclosing private details does not always yield benefits, but instead may expose vulnerabilities to those with ill intentions. The wise know to keep important things to themselves, not allow anyone to use them as a weapon against them. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Indeed, the quality of our lives depends on our mindset and how we protect those thoughts. Guarding our thoughts not only protects our intellect, but also safeguards the peace of our souls. When we learn to protect our thoughts, we not only become wiser, but also more steadfast and confident in our decisions. This is one of the signs of superior intelligence, knowing how to control personal information and stand firm in our thinking under any circumstances. Next, another sign of intelligence surpassing most others is how one values time. They know that time is the most precious asset, and therefore they avoid procrastination and laziness, always prioritizing meaningful goals that bring value. Sign number 2, value time. Time plays the most important role in life. It is both the most wonderful and the most realistic thing. It has no beginning and no end. Everything is born in time, develops in time, and dies in time. You cannot control time, nor can you analyze or criticize it. You must understand the value of time and manage it effectively. Otherwise, time can have a tremendous impact on your life. You need to understand and appreciate the value of time by not wasting it. In Stoic philosophy, respecting time is considered a sign of intelligence and wisdom. A wise person not only knows that time is the most valuable asset, but also knows how to prioritize and make the most of it. Time cannot be created or destroyed, and once it passes, we can never regain it. In today's world, it's easy to fall into procrastination and laziness, but the wise will not let such habits steal their time. They set meaningful goals and build a life based on effective actions rather than spending time on things that don't matter. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, said Marcus Aurelius. But the wise understand that every act of procrastination is a theft of our own precious time. We can spend time relaxing, learning, or helping others, but every decision must be made carefully to avoid wasting time. Just like a flower needs light, water, and soil to grow, people need to manage their time wisely to achieve success. When we procrastinate, we often mistakenly believe that we are saving energy, but in reality, we are creating burdens for the future. Intelligence does not only lie in recognizing the value of time, but also in the ability to act immediately, without allowing procrastination to cost us valuable opportunities. Life is finite, and to make the most of our time, we need clear plans, and the determination to carry them out without delay. Time is an irreplaceable factor, and the wise are those who know how to turn time into a tool to serve their goal and purposes. Sign number 3. Always learn, always learn. Not all the knowledge we need for a better life comes from books and classrooms. Every success or failure in life offers precious opportunities to learn. Intelligent people understand that learning doesn't stop when they leave school, but continues through every experience and daily encounter. They know that every moment can be a lesson, if we listen and receive it. Learning from others, from oneself, and the world around us forms the foundation for developing wisdom and self-improvement. The smartest individuals never close their minds to opportunities that enhance their understanding. They don't just learn knowledge from books, but from every person they meet and every situation they go through. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "There are no eternal facts as there are no absolute truths. Everything can change and evolve." And human intelligence is no exception. Intelligent people constantly challenge what they know, continually seek new truths, and are unafraid to admit their blind spots when proven wrong. Many of us view the world through the lens of personal experiences and values, limiting our ability to learn. However, intelligent individuals recognize that all knowledge has value, and they never miss a chance to learn more. They realize that curiosity is the driving force that propels them forward toward the unknown, while many tend to reject arguments that challenge their beliefs. Smart people welcome them because they know their intellect can only expand when faced with change. Don't let yourself become stagnant by clinging to what you already know. Intelligent people open their minds to all forms of knowledge because they understand that learning is limitless. By continuously striving to learn, you not only grow wiser, but also define yourself more clearly. Remember, there is no end point in the process of learning. Every new thing you learn, no matter how small, holds value and brings new opportunities in life. Share your thoughts in the comments. What have you learned from your daily experiences? Are you open to new knowledge and ready to change your perceptions? Sign number 4. Talk to yourself to understand better. Yourself to understand better. We have explored how intelligent people constantly learn from every experience and person around them, remain open to new knowledge, embrace challenges to improve themselves, and are always curious about the world. Now let's dive into sign number 4. Talking to yourself. Imagine you're walking down the street and see someone walking alone, talking to themselves. Perhaps you might try to avoid them in some contexts. Talking to oneself is seen as a habit of eccentric people or a sign of mental instability. However, the truth is that we all talk to ourselves. Have you ever been caught by friends or family talking to yourself? That moment may have made you feel embarrassed. But in reality, self-talk is a natural part of the thinking and self-development process. We have an ongoing internal dialogue in our minds, and sometimes it spills out verbally. Interesting, self-talk has a significant impact on our physical, mental, and emotional health, yet it is often underestimated. Most of us let this dialogue happen unconsciously, without reflecting on its impact. Many people in particular have a critical inner dialogue that constantly undermines their abilities, pushing them into stress. If we try to suppress it, it only grows stronger. Consider a different approach. Instead of trying to dismiss the negative self-talk, we can actively observe and understand it. An effective method is to talk to yourself in front of a mirror or through a video. This helps transform the invisible internal dialogue into something we can see and observe from a different perspective. It allows you to clearly recognize your self-talk patterns, identify internal criticism, and gradually turn them into words of encouragement and motivation. Imagine you are facing a difficult decision at work. Instead of letting fear and anxiety take over, you step out of that chaotic mindset and confront yourself in the mirror. Just as a Stoic philosopher, would you ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Is it beyond my control? You realize that the anxiety stems not from external circumstances but from your internal reaction to them. These negative thoughts are merely a product of self-doubt as you engage in self-dialogue. Your perspective begins to shift. You remind yourself that in Stoic philosophy, what matters is not what happens, but how you respond to it. Fear becomes insignificant when you understand that you have control over your emotions and reactions. Confidence gradually builds as you know you can face any situation with a steady mind. From this, you gain the clarity and composure needed to make a decision unclouded by unnecessary worries. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." When we learn to adjust and observe our self-talk, we not only gain control over the inner dialogue, but also learn to live more calmly and become stronger in the face of life's challenges. Sign number 5. Keeping achievements quiet. Achievements quiet, although it's natural and tempting to want to announce big goals. It would be wiser to keep them to yourself. In an experiment at New York University, 163 subjects were given a difficult work project and spent 45 minutes on it. Half of the subjects were asked to announce their goals while the other half were asked to remain silent. Those who announced their goals quit after an average of only 33 minutes and reported feeling satisfied with their work. However, those who remained silent worked the full 45 minutes and maintained strong motivation. When the experiment ended, they wanted to keep working. Telling others about your big goals makes them less likely to happen because it creates an unconscious reward, tricking our brain into thinking we've already achieved the goal when we receive acknowledgement from others, whether adulation or support. Our brain may confuse this positive feedback with actual progress. This is why initial excitement often doesn't last and sometimes leads us to slack off in continuing practical actions. In Stoic philosophy, self-control and humility are considered key to achieving sustainable success. Keeping silent about our achievements helps us maintain focus, avoiding distraction from others' opinions. When big aspirations are kept private, we can approach them more flexibly and personally. This not only allows us to adapt to changes, but also helps us avoid the fear of public failure. Private goals nurture a strong, resilient mindset, enabling us to face challenges without worrying about being judged. Keeping our goals to ourselves not only maintains motivation, but also fosters healthy self-sustaining growth. When we resist the temptation to announce our ambitions, we protect the purity of our intentions, ensuring that the drive to succeed remains strong and undiluted. Before we move on to the next point, could I ask a small favor? If you're enjoying what you've learned and smiling right now, please hit the like button, and hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. It helps spread these positive vibes to more people who may need a little boost just like you. So let's spread the joy and make sure more people can join us on this journey of self-improvement and think about the future and talk in the present. Positivity. Sign number 6. Think about the future and talk in the present before moving on to the next sign. Let's take a moment to explore the story of Joe, a man constantly obsessed with the future. He spent a lot of time thinking about what might happen and always worried about things beyond his control. Every small decision was weighed down by a vague fear of potential risks. However, when Joe learned about Stoic philosophy, he realized that his approach was only adding more chaos to his present life. Instead, he learned to think about the future and speak in the present, a mindset that allowed him to live harmoniously between preparing for the future and appreciating the present moment. At the core of this philosophy is the ability to anticipate and plan for what's to come without being overwhelmed by unnecessary worries. Intelligent people understand that the future is an important part of life, but it cannot completely dictate the present. A wise mind not only knows how to think about the future, but also how to use the present as a tool for preparation. This is what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus meant when he said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself and in no instance bypass the discriminations of reason?" This emphasizes that rather than endlessly seeking perfection in the future, we should start acting now to build it. The truly intelligent individual is one who can balance foresight with calmness in the face of current situations. They don't let the future become a source of anxiety. Instead, they use it as motivation to take steady steps forward. Indeed, the difference is not in what you think about, but in what you do in the present to turn those thoughts into reality. Once a person has learned how to think ahead and act in the present, they become freer with themselves, understanding that everything that happens in the future is based on their actions in the present. Next, another sign of intelligence is the ability to work independently. These individuals do not rely on others but find strength in their autonomy. Sign number 7, work by yourself when working in an independent. Work by yourself. Space, you can manage your own time. However, your work is not always filled with wonders. Once you start working alone, you'll realize that, in fact, you're not working alone. The real battle doesn't come from the outside world, but from within your mind. Working solo sometimes makes it easy to lose focus without guidance or interaction with others. Waves of doubt and a lack of confidence can easily flood your mind sitting alone for just 5 minutes. You might feel the urge to get up for a snack or check a notification on your phone. Loneliness can become your biggest challenge when you're unable to quantify the value of a day's work without clear milestones. You may fall into procrastination and hesitation. It's in those moments that Stoic philosophy becomes a reliable companion. Stoicism encourages us not to focus solely on the results, but also on our inner journey. One of the key principles of this philosophy is to remain silent about your achievements. Wise individuals do not need to boast about what they have accomplished. Instead, they let their actions speak for themselves. While modern life often pushes us to share every success on social media, the Stoic understands that true joy lies in completing the task well and quietly. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The meaning of this statement is simple yet profound. Don't spend too much time debating or trying to prove that you're smarter than others. Instead, let your excellence be demonstrated through the way you live and work by staying silent about your accomplishments. You not only avoid distractions from praise or criticism, but also cultivate deeper focus. This is something that only truly intelligent people realize. Success doesn't lie in the recognition of others, but in the inner satisfaction and peace within yourself. Sign number 8. Talking responsibility. Responsibility, looking back at your own life. When have you chosen to take responsibility? You may have done this to recover from a failure, or to make the best of a difficult situation. That moment was probably not easy, but it gave you strength and control over your own life when faced with adversity. Instead of complaining or blaming the circumstances, you choose to stand up, explore your options, and act with determination. You took the time to gather information, consider what needed to be done, and then steadfastly pursued your goal along the way. You motivated yourself to overcome challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. That effort not only helped you achieve your goals, but also affirmed your intelligence and perseverance. One of the clearest signs of intelligence is the ability to take responsibility for shaping your future. In Stoic philosophy, this is considered the core of personal freedom. Stoicism emphasizes that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can fully control our reactions and actions. A smart person doesn't seek to blame circumstances or others when faced with challenges, but focuses on what they can do to change the situation. Imagine you are interviewing someone for a position on your team. What would you evaluate in that person? As a Stoic philosopher, I believe one of the most important metrics is their willingness to take responsibility. This is not just about whether they complete their tasks, but also how they face challenges, handle failure, and demonstrate self-discipline in every action. Ask yourself, on a scale from 0 to 10, how responsible are they? In Stoicism, we understand that life presents us with unpredictable challenges, but the key lies in how we respond to them. Individuals who score 8 or higher will demonstrate responsibility not only for themselves, but also for the collective. They do not avoid difficulties but face them with calmness, ready to admit mistakes and learn from failures. Stoicism teaches us that self-control and personal responsibility are essential for building lasting success. Such individuals understand that outcomes are not always within their control, but their attitude and response to adversity Certainly are they not only focus on completing their tasks, but also contribute to the growth of others, creating collective strength through their sense of responsibility and self-discipline. Look back at your own life. In what situations have you chosen to take responsibility? And how has that changed? You share your story in the comment section. Sign number 9. Be responsible. Looking back on your own. Be responsible. Life, when did you choose to take responsibility? You may have done this to recover from a failure or to make the best of a difficult situation. It could have been the moment you faced an important crossroads in life when everything seemed out of control. But you chose not to back down. What did you do at that moment? You may have taken the time to gather information, carefully consider your options, and then decided to pursue a specific path to move forward. The motivation didn't come from the outside, but from within you, a quiet persistence to do what needed to be done throughout that journey. You gave your best effort not because success was guaranteed, but because you knew it was the right thing to do. One of the signs of intelligence is the ability to accept responsibility for your own life. Intelligent people don't look to blame circumstances or others when facing difficulties. Instead, they understand that they are the ones responsible for shaping their own future. This doesn't mean controlling every aspect of life, but rather, controlling your response to the inevitable challenges. One way to gauge a person's intelligence is to observe how they handle personal responsibility. These individuals never shy away from responsibility, even knowing it can sometimes be very challenging. They don't view circumstances as a series of random events. Instead, they see each challenge as an opportunity to grow. Imagine yourself in the middle of a vast ocean, sitting on a small boat, amidst relentless waves. The waves constantly push and pull, and each one can divert you from your intended course. However, instead of complaining or blaming the immense power of the sea, you choose a different path. You adjust the sail. This is where true wisdom shines. You are fully aware that you cannot control the ocean. It is a colossal force beyond human reach, but you can decide how you steer the boat and adjust your direction. Stoic philosophy reminds us that intelligence lies not only in understanding our limits, but also in accepting what cannot be changed while focusing on what we can control. Wisdom isn't about trying to change the ocean, but about learning to face it wisely and calmly. Instead of fighting against the waves, you choose to adapt to them. And it is this choice that helps you keep a steady hand on the AE in life. Much like at sea, challenges and difficulties will always arise. What sets you apart is how you face them. Steadfastness, responsibility, and determination will guide you to the shores of success, no matter how arduous the journey may be. Sign number 10. Accept people as they. Accept people as they are. Have you ever wondered why we often feel irritated or disappointed when others don't act according to our expectations? This is one of the most common challenges in life, but it is also an opportunity to discover your intelligence through the philosophy of Stoicism. Accept people as they truly are. What we can control is not others, but how we react to them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind. Not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength in reality." Asking others to change according to our desires often only leads to disappointment. Instead of trying to mold others, an intelligent person learns to accept them for who they are. Imagine you have a colleague who frequently arrives late to meetings. Your initial reaction might be anger, feeling as though you are disrespecting other people's time. However, instead of letting this emotion take control, a Stoic would choose to view the situation from a different perspective. Stoic philosophy teaches us that anger does not solve the problem. It only harms ourselves. The reality is that each individual has their habits, circumstances, and ways of living which are beyond your control. Therefore, rather than focusing on what you cannot not change, you should accept the reality as it is. When you learn to remain calm in the face of irritation, you not only protect your inner peace but also demonstrate intellectual and emotional maturity. A Stoic understands that judging others is unnecessary. Instead, they seek solutions. Perhaps your colleague is struggling with time management. Instead of criticizing, you can offer empathy and suggest ways to help this approach. not only fosters a more positive working environment, but also showcases a higher level of intelligence in problem-solving and managing relationships. A wise person doesn't judge or force others to align with their perspective, but understands and accepts human diversity. They recognize that others' imperfections don't diminish their value, but are an essential part of life. Embracing this is a testament to your emotional intelligence and clarity of mind. So in daily life, try to accept the people around you as they truly are. This will not only help you avoid negative emotions, but also build a more calm and wise mindset in every situation. This is a hallmark of an intelligent ENT person, not only in thought but also in the way they live and interact. Start today, accept and appreciate people as they truly are. Sign number 11, don't give up if you fail. Fail. Don't give up if you fail to follow your principles. Don't give up, but simply pick yourself up and return to them. This profound reminder from Marcus Aurelius of the great Stoic philosophers emphasizes that failure is not the end. Failure is simply a part of the journey towards success. It's not the smartest people who have never failed, but rather those who never give up when they face failure. Your goals won't be easy to achieve. You won't wake up one day and miraculously have everything you desire just because you want it. Wanting isn't enough. Intentions aren't enough either. Your actions are the decisive factor in Stoic philosophy. Persistence and determination are central. You have to work hard, invest time, and sometimes even shed sweat and tears. There is no shortcut or miracle to achieving what you want. Only relentless effort when it comes to big dreams and goals. You can't afford to keep procrastinating. You can't wait until tomorrow. Because the best time to start is right now in Stoicism. Controlling the present and not waiting for things beyond your reach is the wise way to live. You won't see results immediately, and the process will be full of challenges, but remember this: the sooner you start, the sooner you will reach your destination. You will inevitably fail, many times. That's the law of life, but don't let failure stop you, as Seneca once said. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. You will make mistakes, and that's not a bad thing. It's a lesson. Take, for example, Thomas Edison's story. When he invented the electric light bulb, he tried thousands of times and failed. But instead of giving up, he saw each failure as a step closer to success. Don't fear failure, for it is what brings you closer to success. Stand up after every fall. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, and keep moving forward. Persistence and perseverance are the keys to greater success, more than any talent or intelligence, before moving on to the conclusion. Next sign, let's take a moment to explore the story of Joe. A man constantly obsessed with the future. He spent a lot of time thinking about what might happen, and always worried about things beyond his control. Every small decision was weighed down by a vague fear of potential risks. However, when Joe learned about Stoic philosophy, he realized that his approach was only adding more chaos to his present life. Instead, he learned to think about the future and speak in the present, a mindset that allowed him to live harmoniously between preparing for the future and appreciating the present moment. At the core of this philosophy is the ability to anticipate and plan for what's to come without being overwhelmed by unnecessary worries. Intelligent people understand that the future is an important part of life, but it cannot completely dictate the present. A wise mind not only knows how to think about the future, but also how to use the present as a tool for preparation. This is what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus meant when he said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself, and in no instance bypass the discriminations of reason?" This emphasizes that rather than endlessly seeking perfection in the future, we should start acting now to build it. The truly intelligent individual is one who can balance foresight with calmness in the face of current situations. They don't let the future become a source of anxiety. Instead, they use it as motivation to take steady steps forward. Indeed, the difference is not in what you think about, but in what you do in the present, to turn those thoughts into reality. Once a person has learned how to think ahead and act in the present, they become freer with themselves, understanding that everything that happens in the future is based on their actions in the present. Next, another sign of intelligence is the ability to work independently. These individuals do not rely on others, but find strength in their autonomy.